Welcome to week 6. This week we'll be focusing mostly on Daniel Keller's book, Chasing Literacy. Most of what we've read so far has focused on the productive side of literacy practices, that is to say writing, and less on the receptive side of digital literacy practices, that is to say reading. Daniel Keller's book includes a bit of both, but it's a little bit more focused on reading than a lot of what we've read so far. This one is really interesting in that it does focus on pedagogy a lot more than we have been focusing on it. I thought that this would be a useful time to read this one as we're thinking about the digital pedagogy project. I thought that this would be particularly useful because a lot of the examples that Keller uses are of high school students as opposed to university students. There is a lot in here. One thing that I want to point out is that in chapter 1 there is a pretty extensive literature review. That part you're welcome to just kind of skim over. It's less important for our purposes. But there is an important section at the end of chapter 1, so don't just skim the entirety of chapter 1. Once it gets into a lot of citations, that's the part that you can skim. But then there's that last section there that focuses more on pedagogy. You'll notice in here there is a lot of stuff in the reading related to multitasking that we've talked about already and focus that we've talked about already. And multimodality, of course. And so there will be a lot of things that will connect to our previous readings. Also in the second half of this week, we will be turning in the first draft of the digital pedagogy project. I'm only having you turn in part 1. You are welcome to turn in part 2 with it if you'd like for the peer revision, but you're not required to. I would like to see that part 1 as close to complete as possible. The closer it is to complete, the better feedback your peers can give you on what you're doing well and what parts you might still need to work on. So please try to get it as close as possible. The submission process is going to be exactly the same as with the space critique. Finish your draft. Please do it directly in Google Drive, not in a Word document, and upload it. And then when you're done, put it into the shared folder that you have with me, and then email me that it's in there so I can add you to a peer revision group. Once you've been added to a peer revision group, then I'll send you an email saying that you're in one, and make sure to share it with the peers that are part of your peer revision group. Like usual, if you have any questions related to Daniel Keller's book or to the submission for the first draft of the digital pedagogy project, please feel free to ask in that questions forum that's available under discussions and under class documents.